Now, how do you figure out what you're going to need as far as images or videos or text or maybe a combination? Well, one way is to start looking at building something called a user persona. Now, sometimes when we build a persona, we think of generalities and we think about, okay, oh, it's going to be a, middle-aged female, or it's going to be a young adult male, or it's going to be an older male, or it's going to be, something like that. We tend to think very much of demographics, and that is things like age, race, and gender, and things like that. But that's not how we want to think of them. We want to think of them as far as what makes this group unique. Now, it may be mostly made up of a single gender or a single age group, but we want to think about what makes this group unique. I'm working towards building a website to help single mothers. And maybe I want to rethink that and go, okay, is the needs of a single father different than that of a single mother? And so maybe I think, oh, okay, it's not really about, is it a mother or father? It's about being a single parent. Or maybe I'm going to focus on another aspect like small business owners. Okay. I don't care what their age is. Age isn't important. I don't care about what their race or ethnicity is or anything like that. I care about the fact that, hey, you're a small business owner, and I might want to narrow that down even further, okay? Small business owners that have less than 25 employees. And so they often will refer to this as a niche. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as niche. Same word, just two different ways of enunciating it. And so you think about, okay, who is my target audience and how can I focus on them? Let's take an example of building a website for a senior living facility, aka a retirement home. Now, you might think, oh, okay, the person who's going to be going to this is going to be someone who is older, they're retired, they maybe need some medical care. And so you start writing it for them. But is that going to be the actual audience for that website? See, most people don't put themselves into an assisted living facility or into a retirement home. It's usually the children of that individual. So you want to think about, okay, who would be doing this? Maybe someone who lives out of town and they can't just go and visit the place. Maybe it's someone who's busy working. They can't take care of the parent during the day, but they still want to be able to visit on weekends. And what are you going to show for that? It might be someone who is a combination of those things. I can't visit, but maybe once a year because it's out of state. I still want to be involved with mom or dad. I want my kids, aka their grandkids, to be able to see them and talk with them. How can we work through that process? And so you start thinking about, okay, who's really going to be using the website? It may not be the person who's there. If you think back earlier, we talked about a children's bounce house for a birthday party or block party, something like that. 8-year-olds are not going to be the one using the website. So think about our example from before where we had a bounce house. Now, bounce houses are great for 7, 8, maybe even 10 and 12-year-olds. However, are they going to be the one that's going to be renting them? Are they going to be the one who's going to be going online looking for them and trying to find the right one to pick for their party? No, of course not. So while you want to have something that's going to be shown being used by the appropriate age group, you do not want to have it geared towards that 8-year-old. They simply don't have the money to rent a bounce house. So you want to make sure you target the right audience for your website. That way it can be as effective as possible.